Hello. Yes. So guys, just out using the 50mm f1.8 Sony lens. It's £159 new. You can get it cheaper. I paid 90 quid for mine, and basically it's designed for photographers and videographers looking for fast full frame prime. It only weighs 192 grams. It's lightweight. It's actually pretty good performance for what it can do. You know, it's compact, it's lightweight, it's a standard prime for everyday use at the end of the day. It may not be brilliant on some cameras. You know, I've utilised it now on the A7R4, and I think that's probably pushing it way past its real limits, but it still gave pleasing images. So, you know, it's personal choice at the end of the day. But if you are on a quite a tight budget maybe, or if you're learning to, you know, photography for the first time and you want your sort of first prime lens, but you don't have hundreds or even thousands of pounds to spend on, you know, a prime lens, this could be the way forward. You know, just to get you going. You know, it works on full frame and it does work on APS-C crop bodies as well. It's, you know, a really good little lens really. Yep, it's not perfect. We know it's got a little bit of chromatic aberration in some shots, as you'll see shortly, the ones I've actually taken during this shoot. So just a quick summary really, but here we go. Shooting today in a lovely bluebell wood. Just seen an owl of some sort come flying right over the top of us. Got the Godox reflector there with a flash in it, wisely. Wally over there, and beautiful woods to play in. So basically these are some of the shots from the 50mm, and I thought I'd compare it to the 135 GMaster, which I normally use for portraiture. But as you can see here, the light on the right hand side in the trees there, shooting Molly, giving a nice little bit of lighting there. We're using some at normal sync speed when I could actually get enough of the correct exposure due to the sun going in, but a lot of the time the sun was out. So tractor shot here, it's actually not too bad. As you can see there, it isn't the sharpest of the lenses in the world, but it's sharp enough to give you an image like so that looks pretty good. You know, sharpness, remember, sharpness isn't always the ultimate sharpness isn't always the way you want to shoot. You know, a lot of the time I actually soften shots. So, you know, shots like this where, yeah, it actually adds almost an older feel because the colours aren't quite as vibrant in some shots as others. But as you can see there, crops right in, it still looks pretty good. This is just a quick look at the photos, guys. They're hardly edited at all. They've literally just been processed. So a little bit of brightness and colour correction slightly depending on what the sun was doing. I was trying to match them so they all look pretty similar. But as you can see there, onto the 135 GMaster, yeah, absolutely different kind of lens. You know, sharp as you like, absolutely bonkers lens. But quite often, a lot of the time, I actually soften the shots because they are too sharp in a lot of respects. So, you know, yep, it's a £1,400 lens compared to £159. But as you can see, you know, both of them actually are giving quite a pleasing look to the images because you can shoot quite wide open and you are getting a nice soft background. Yeah, obviously the 135 GMaster is going to be sharper just because of the lens design and more modern. You know, obviously it's got more of a zoom capability in the magnification side of things. You know, and you know, it really was designed to be the best of the best kind of portrait lens. So, you know, but the little nifty 50 weighs nothing. It sits in your bag there if you do need a slightly wider angle feel, or a bit more sort of like life-size kind of look. As you can see here, you know, there's a little bit of chromatic aberrations in the bokeh in the distance, but everything else is relatively good. This shot here, you know, my exposure was actually a little bit out, and I'm not going to deny that I don't make mistakes, but it's where the sun suddenly came back out and I actually took the shot and didn't really click that I'd actually you know, messed it up slightly. But there's a better shot there, slightly better exposure. And yeah, so, you know, all these shots were shot at f1.8 on both lenses, so you can kind of see what the differences are like. You know, I love the 135, it is my favourite lens. and just the compression of everything. But the 50mm is actually really quite pleasant. You know, it adds, you know, a very different look to a very, very similar image. So, you know, yeah, the autofocus is a little bit noisy, nowhere near as snappy, obviously, as the ultrasonic 4 motor that the GMaster's got. But, you know, for less than £200, you know, it's a really, really good lens. I think if I was going to keep this, or if I was going to actually buy a different 50mm lens, I'd probably would go for the world-renowned 55 Zeiss, which is everyone really loves, because it's still nice and compact. It's got relatively fast autofocus, and the way the optics work and everything are very, very good. So, but obviously it's about 2 to 3 times the price of this lens. So you do get what you pay for. But I think for this kind of photography, and if someone is learning, like I say, or they just want a lens that they want to use every now and again, I think it's an absolute bargain. You know, a lot of people won't agree with me on this, but in the real world, you know, that's what I think, and you can make your own decisions really. But other than that, I just did a quick shoot with this yesterday, and I just thought I'd share the images and see what you think. Like I said, there's no retouching. It's literally just a little bit of colour correction to try and match the images as much as I could, just to make sure that they kind of look similar, to kind of give you a bit of more of a you know, a feel for the images. Other than that, yeah. So I'll see you soon. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, the little notification bell as well, and I shall see you soon.